everybody. So I wanted to do this video to announce that I am pregnant, to do an update, to share my story, if you would say, I guess. Just pretty much how I've been feeling, how I found out I was pregnant, things I've been using, things I've been eating, kind of. And yeah, sorry I keep looking this way. I've never really made a video. This will be my first video, so I just keep looking at the little screen over here. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Okay, so first I want to tell you guys, sorry I'm moving the camera a lot, I want to tell you guys how I found out I was pregnant. First of all, my periods are never regular, especially this past year and a half. It has not been regular. I get my period 1 month, next month I don't get it, month I do, whatever. So today is October 5th, 2018, by the way. So I found out I was pregnant about a month ago, I want to say. Actually by the end of August, that's when I found out I was pregnant. So how it all happened was just my first symptoms were my breasts. My breasts were so tender, you could not touch them, you could not even put a slight touch on them, anything, rub them, nothing. I mean, they were just untouchable right now at that time. Right now they're doing a little better. So that was pretty much the first big symptom that I have. But again, I was just not really paying attention to it as much. I mean, they hurt really bad, but I was not really paying attention to it because I do get tender once I get my period. So I was always just thinking, oh, I'm just gonna get my period, whatever, you know. But one day, I remember it was a Friday morning when I woke up. I'm not exactly sure what date. I'm sure I have it written down on my notebook. But I woke up and the room just started spinning. I remember just waking up and I'm like, holy crap, why am I feeling so dizzy? So then I'm like, okay, this is not normal. There's definitely something going on. So that day I got ready, got up, got ready, went to the store, bought me 3 pregnancy tests, and yes, I took them. And at the time my boyfriend was at work, so I was just by myself here at the house, and I took him, and I remember just started crying. I took the first one. I was like, oh my god, and it tells you to wait 2 minutes on the little pregnancy test. It literally took 30 seconds for both lines to show, and I'll show you right now. Okay, so here is the ones that I bought. You can see it. I bought the first respond pregnancy test. I took 3 of them, and here are all 3. You can tell they're all, I remember just taking one first, and right away within 20 seconds, 30 seconds, both lines showed up, because I know this one was gonna show up, but this one started showing within seconds. And then I was like, holy crap, I started crying. And then I took the other 2 as well, and then yeah, so they all came out to be positive. I was obviously freaking out. It was not a planned pregnancy. If I am being brutally honest here, I can honestly say I was not planning on having kids for a very long time, or even having kids at all. I love kids. I have 1 niece. My sister has I have 2 sisters. Only one of them has a kid. The other one's the younger one's 23 years old. She has no kids. I'm 26. I had no kids. And honestly, I never saw kids in my future, to be honest. My older sister, she just turned 28 yesterday. 28. And so, yeah, she's the only one that has kids, and I love my niece to death. I just love that little girl. She is the love of my life, I can honestly say. And it has been, I don't know. So first I was just really, what am I gonna do? How am I gonna tell my boyfriend? Because obviously I know we both were not ready for kids. He's a bit younger than me. He's 2 years younger than me. So we were just not really planning on having kids at any time soon, you know. So yeah, so right away he came home. I called him actually. I'm like, hey, are you gonna come home today? Because he usually takes a break, comes home, and then goes back to work for a little bit, like 2 more hours or whatever. So I called him. He's like, what's up? And I'm like, are you gonna come today? And he's like, I think so. And I'm like, okay, good, because I have some things to tell you. And he's just like, what? And I was just like, nothing, like, it's okay, just come, just make sure you come for your break today. So he's like, okay. Right away when he got here, he walked in the room, and I just started crying. And he's just like, what's wrong? Like, are you okay? And then I'm like, I think I'm pregnant. He's like, what do you mean you think you're pregnant? And I was just like, and then I showed him the pregnancy test. I'm like, they all say positive. And then he's just like, okay, well, he obviously didn't know how to react. It wasn't an excitement reaction, because I obviously didn't have one either. I was very just, holy crap, okay. And then the following day, we were just like, okay, how are we gonna do this right away? He's just like, do you want to get married? So he's very Mexican. I mean, I come from a Mexican family. I think you can probably tell from my accent how I'm speaking English, kind of. It was not my first language. Spanish was definitely my first language. And so right away, that's the tradition, that's their beliefs, or I should say our beliefs, but I'm very more liberal, more open-minded over here. That I'm just like, you don't have to get married. But him, he's like, right away, he's like, okay, do you want to get married? And I was like, hold on, we just barely found out I'm pregnant. Let's think about this, let's slow down. So we were just talking about it a couple of days. I'm like, let me first book an appointment with the doctor. I booked an appointment with Planned Parenthood for the following Monday, but it was a holiday. I don't remember what it was. Labor Day? It's in August or September, I remember. Beginning of September, end of August. I don't know what holiday it was. So Monday, they were closed. I was like, okay, shoot, we have to wait till Tuesday. So I went in Tuesday morning, and yep, they told me, yep, you're pregnant. I'm like, okay, cool. And then they obviously tell you your options, if you want to have an abortion, if you want to keep it, blah, blah, blah. I told them, honestly, give me both information, because honestly, I don't know. Like I said, I never wanted kids. This is turning into a whole other video, but anyways, I'm just rambling, because I'm being honest. I'm being how my experience was just finding out that I was pregnant, So anyways, a couple days passed. We were still I was very emotional, by the way. I was very, very crying, I want to say Friday, since Friday all the way to Tuesday. And then Tuesday night, it was just me and him who knew, by the way. So I finally called to my older sister. It was Tuesday after I got off work. I got off work at 12 a.m., very late. So I called her around 12:30, and right away she answered. She's like, are you okay? Like, what's wrong with you? I never call her that late. And then I started crying. I was like, I'm pregnant. And then she's like, oh, and she's like, okay, like, no, I think her first reaction was, wait, what? Like, she was half asleep. And then so I just continued to talk to her, blah, blah, blah. And then she was like, how, like, were you using protection, like all those questions? And I'm like, yes, obviously, but shit happens. So and actually there was 3 days that we did not use protection. TMI coming up, by the way, warning. I should do like a whole warning thing. I'm just honestly telling you guys all my story and telling me for my future reference, because I don't know, I feel like not a lot of people are gonna be watching this. Holy crap, you can see my baggy eyes. But anyways, so it's also the lighting, because it's like right on top of me. Let's blame it on the lighting. So the whole situation just happened because we didn't use protection for 3 days, and you know how the Plan B pill tells you within 72 hours or something like that. I remember I took it too late, to be honest, because it takes 24 hours for the sperm to get up there, and the Plan B pill is not an abortion pill, so if you're pregnant already, too late. So I think that's exactly what happened to me. So anyway, so I told my sister. She's like, okay, well, I love you. We just literally had like a 15-minute conversation. So after the whole 15-20 minute conversation with my sister, then she's like, well, I love you, I support you, whatever happens, which is true. Like, what am I gonna do, So I mean, I know there's options, but I do come from a very Christian family. I mean, very, very Christian. I have not been to church in a while, if I'm being completely honest, but still, like, you have the belief still in you. And my boyfriend, he's very Catholic, So that's how the whole let's get married thing happened. I'm just like, hold on, hold your horses. We're barely finding out we're pregnant, and I don't even know how long I am, which I kind of started figuring it out because I was like, okay, when was the time that we did not use protection, while we were doing the nasty. And I have an app also, period tracker app, and then I do keep track of all of that. So it was actually pretty easy for me to find out. Okay, it was July 16th, so it was July 15th, 16th, 17th, 3 days that we did not use any protection. So it was one of those days that it happened, so that happened. And then when I went in on the night, so I had to call the whole insurance because my sister, she was so good about that. She was like, okay, make sure you have to go to call the insurance, call this, call that, make sure you do this, make sure you do that, and then book your first appointment, like officially get a clinic, get a doctor, because as long as I had no idea, I'm like, okay, what do I do now, So yeah, I did that. I booked my first appointment, and the first appointment was really just a bunch of blood being drawn for me. And I was so scared of that because last time when I was probably 16 years old that I got blood drawn for me, I passed out. Like, I just fainted. I don't remember exactly why. I think because right when they draw the blood, and then my mom was like, just go get some paperwork, and I was standing in line, and I think I was just standing for too long, and I just fainted back. But good thing I was still at the clinic. So I had a couple nurses, I remember, giving me apple juice and just telling me like, are you okay, blah blah blah, and making me sit for a couple of minutes. So yeah, that happened then. So I was scared when they were gonna do that. So yeah, and then my boyfriend, obviously, he has been going to everything with me except to the Planned Parenthood one because he had to work. And then I told him, I was like, I don't know, like, let me just do this, by myself. So that's the only appointment I went to by myself to. But then this first official like appointment, we went to again, and it was just all paperwork and just blood being drawn for me, and that was it. And then this last Monday, which it was October 3rd or 2nd, I don't remember. No, it was actually Wednesday, so it was October 3rd. Wednesday, I had my first official doctor appointment. So my first official ultrasound, my first official everything, and I have the paper right over there in front of me with the little ultrasound pictures. But I mean, I can show them to you guys, but there's really nothing you can see. I can see it just because the doctor told me, okay, this is the head and this is the body, and I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I see it now, but other than that, I mean, the baby's literally like this big right now. Like I said, I am 11 and a half weeks pregnant right now. So yeah, so that's pretty much that's been going on. Now for my symptoms, I'm sorry, that was a very long explanation. Symptoms, I already said breast tenderness. I felt dizzy. I had not been throwing up. I had only thrown up 2 times throughout this whole time, today being the 2nd time. And I think that was just mainly my fault because I had not eaten. Like, I ate kind of late. But so my other symptoms were just really, really bad, nauseous. Morning sickness, not really. It was all day sickness, to be honest. It has been throughout the whole freaking day. It's just been, it was awful. My stomach just felt just everywhere, just kind of like I compared, because I was a bit of a because obviously not anymore, and I actually had months before. I was a very party person. So when you have the hangover and your stomach hurts, you just kind of feel like kind of throwing up, but you don't. That's really how I felt this whole time, like and it was the whole day, every day for probably like the whole month that I found out, that I was pregnant. Like the whole month of September, I want to say. I was just nasty feeling, and I just don't want to do anything. I just wanted to be in bed. And then I noticed that at work I was just getting so tired. I work at a restaurant, and yeah, I just felt like I was just feeling so tired, So anyway, I asked for less hours. I was like, I'm not gonna be working this much, just give me less hours, I'm too tired. And so yeah, that happened. So then those are pretty much the only symptoms that I've been having. I want to say nauseous, really bad nauseous, and I threw up one time. last month, and then second time today. That's it. But what my doctor told me yesterday in my appointment, or the day before, on Wednesday, because today's Friday, she saw right away. My mom's a twin, by the way, not those twins that cuatas we call them in Spanish, the ones that don't look alike. My mom's one of them. My boyfriend's family, there's a bunch of the twins that run, pretty much twins run in a family, right? So when we got the first ultrasound, I remember the doctor right away, she was like looking at it, blah, blah, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll look at it. We saw the first baby. I don't know, I said first baby, but apparently there was supposed to be two. But she told me right away, she turns it to me, and I'm like, because she's like, hold on, let me see something. She turns it to me, and she starts, you know, just still kind of having the thing on my belly. And she's like, and then right away, I'm like, wait. I'm like, don't tell me they're twins. I was like, because twins are running in my family, twins running in his family. I'm like, no. She's like, funny you say that. She's like, because I am looking at 2 bags, but I'm only seeing 1 baby. And I'm like, okay, so what does that mean? She's like, so that just pretty much means that maybe you were pregnant or with twins, but only one of them ended up developing and the other one didn't. So, but other than that, she didn't really give me much information or much explanation. She just said that she's gonna refer me to another clinic that does actual better ultrasounds than hers. So I'm waiting for them to call me, and then yeah, so I can book that appointment, so I know exactly what's going on. But either way, she told me that if that is the case, that the second bag will not affect this other baby. So yeah, and I would have loved to have twins, to be honest. That is, I don't know, that would have been awesome. But then one of my friends, she's like, oh, things happen for a reason, you know, this is gonna be your first kid, maybe it was gonna be too hard for you to take care of 2. And I'm like, yeah, that's true. But I don't know, I don't feel as bumped just because I was not really expecting 2 at all. But just the fact that I'm like, okay, now I knew there was 2 and now there's just 1, it kind of makes me feel like, damn it, like I should have, damn it, you know, like I wanted to. But anyway, so that also happened, and that explains to why, oh, like I said, I experienced some bleeding about 2 or 3 weeks ago. So she told me maybe that's why, maybe I was experiencing bleeding, because I did call a doctor too, and they told me that if the bleeding continues for more than like the day or whatever, to go into the hospital, blah blah blah. But it wasn't even like, it was more than spotting, and it was kind of like period blood, but it wasn't like heavy period. I don't know if that makes sense. But anyway, so my sister obviously, she told me it's normal, like I bled that much, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay. So anyway, so yeah, I think those were pretty much all the symptoms and things that had happened to me throughout the whole pregnancy. Now to talk about things that I have been using. I have been using this prenatal, natural made prenatal vitamins with the little pregnant lady right there. That's the first thing I did right when I got out of the Planned Parenthood clinic. Even though I did ask for options of, you know, the 2 options that you have when you find out you're pregnant. But I feel like you always know, you know, like whether you're gonna keep it or not, the baby. But yeah, that's the first thing I did. Went to buy me prenatal, so I did. And then another thing that I've been using, I used this one for a while. There's still like a little bit left, but it's almost gone. Let me return the, here it is. This is the one that I had been using. It is almost out. My sister gave me this one a while back, but she only gave it to me because I was gaining some weight and I was getting some stretch marks, so she's like, use this now. And then I started, I bought me this one and this one about 2 weeks ago, and it just got here like a week ago. So I have been using this too very well, like this whole time. So I'm really not expecting not to have stretch marks, just because the doctor told my sister like stretch marks do run, they are genetic. my mom has a bunch of stretch marks. She had 3 kids, you know. My sister, she has 1 daughter, she has stretch marks everywhere. So I'm kind of like, okay, but I just want to use it to kind of at least try to prevent them a little bit. But either way, yeah, I'm just using them because either way I feel like I am gonna use some. But yeah, anyway, those are the only things that I have been using. Now for the things that I have been kind of eating, I have been trying to do the veggie shake. Well, I call them veggie shakes. They're just a bunch of vegetables in the excuse me. I just put a bunch of vegetables in the blender with some like orange juice or like coconut juice. But I think last time I had them was like 2 days ago. Just because when I had it at the end of it, I just felt like throwing up so bad. I don't know if it was too much, like the taste of the veggies or something, I don't know. But I usually just put like broccoli and spinach, some kale. The kale is I think is the one that makes me kind of like so I'm not gonna use kale anymore. And just oranges and apples just to kind of give it more sweet. But as the vegetables, it's just mainly broccoli, spinach, cucumber, and carrot. Those are the only ones that I have been using. I'm pretty sure I can use more. I need to get like more ideas. I used to be such a juicer like way back in the day. I want to say like 3 years ago. Hence the gain weight. And also because of work, honestly. Like this job that I have gotten at the restaurant, just the hours and everything, I just go to sleep and like eat and then go to sleep. So that also made me gain hell of a lot of weight. But anyway, so I think that will be it for my pregnancy update / announcement, and I hope you guys enjoy. I hope I'm not forgetting anything. I feel like I'm forgetting something, but I hope not. And if I do, I don't know. But I cannot wait. I have my next appointment in November 5th, so in a month, because right now the appointments are every month. So I cannot wait, because I will be I will be 16 weeks, I believe, if I'm not wrong. So I think they can tell me the gender, but obviously we don't want to know. I'm just because we are doing a gender reveal party. Typical, I know. But we are not actually having a baby shower. The only party that we are doing, just because we're not fans of baby shower. Me and my boyfriend actually agree on this so much, which I'm glad. We're not fans of the whole baby shower because the whole gifts and the whole, I don't know. He always says that, you know, if you're gonna be pregnant, you better like own up to it, and you better be ready to take care of your own kid, you know, not be asking people to give you stuff. Which, you know, I know that's kind of like the whole idea of the baby shower, especially a lot of people know that, because I had an invitation not a while ago that says like, please no presents, just give us money. And I'm like, what the hell? Okay. So I don't know, that to me was just kind of like, anyways. So we're not gonna do a baby shower. We are gonna do a gender reveal party, just because I do want that to be in just kind of like a baby celebration, because I am honestly so excited. Even though like I never saw me in this situation, I'm just so excited. My boyfriend is so excited. Even though the baby is like seriously like this big right now, yeah, but like that big, he will not stop touching my stomach. He will not, and I'm just like, stop, like you're really not even touching the stomach. He will like kiss my belly and rub my belly, and just the cutest thing. So we're both super excited. We cannot wait to just honestly, like I know I'm barely gonna be 3 months, and I'm not even 3 months yet, but I already want the baby to be here. So I am happy and excited, like I've been saying, and I will try to post videos probably within every month right now anyways, just because there's not gonna be any much changes going on. So I will keep you all posted, and I will talk to you later. Bye.